Most off-plan deals in Dubai are not investments. They are overpriced contracts sold to emotional buyers because everyone wants to into the Dubai real estate market. Because in general, you can be used to crypto, you can be used to stocks and other things, and you say, yeah, I want to be part of the big player, I want to have real things, something like that is real, I can own, right? And so you just say, why not off-plan? Can be interesting, I have some money aside, I think it's a good investment, I can make some good ROI, I will just flip it easily as everyone is doing, and it's cool. But at the end, it's not as easy as it is, because there is many ways you can get scammed. Scam doesn't mean losing all of your money, right? It means making a bad investment, whether it's not reaching the proper return or even directly losing money due to a bad developer or due to a bad agent. So I'm going to show you here what is an off-plan, an investment example, the minimum viable investment setup for any entrepreneurs and investors that are looking for. Don't put yourself in danger by investing in an off-plan. It's not worth the try. We are going to see exactly how much you need at least to be able to invest. The truth nobody says about off-plan. The real product being sold is not the apartment, it's the payment plan. The #1 conflict of interest, of course, here are the agent commissions. We are going to see that later. The most dangerous trap is liquidity, because you are buying an asset that is kind of illiquid. The critical point, sales and purchase agreement, contract that you have to read carefully. When does an off-plan actually make sense, and how to actually make money with off-plan for real? And I'm going to end with a checklist. So let's start with what is an off-plan. At the end, it's very simple. You buy a property that does not exist yet. They are literally fundraising, so they are taking a part of your money to start the construction. They are starting to go build the foundation, and then step by step they will ask you more and more money. It's normal, it's an investment in order to build the building floor by floor. You will receive the unit and the flat or the villa, it depends on the case, within 2 to 5 years. You are betting on the market. You think the market is going to go up, or especially this specific district, the developer, the delivery, is it going to be on time, the resale conditions, and the liquidity on the market. Let's take an example just to make sure everyone is clear about what is exactly an off-plan. So it's very simple. Let's say a flat, like a 2-bedroom like this one, is 3.6 million dirham, which is $1 million. So they are going to ask you 20% as a down payment on the booking. So you go directly to the developer building, you check the small building in real life, then you sign the paper, and you will have to pay 20%. Sometimes it's 10% now and 10% 1 month later, but let's say 20% first month, right? Plus DLD, Dubai Land Department fee, so 4% of the total amount, plus admin fees. It's just literally some papers. In this case, it's this amount in AED. Then you have installment, so 5% after 4 months, then 5% again after 8 months, 12 months, 16 months, 20 months, 24 months. So this one is a 50-50, as we can see here. It's a 50-50, which means you are going to pay 50% of the value of the property before the handover, and at the handover, so when they give you the key of the flat, then you have to pay the remaining installment, which is in this case 50%. As you can see here, breakdown year by year, and you have the total. Let's take another property with another developer. Here it's 75-25. Very important to understand the difference between before and handover. So in this case as well, 20% on booking plus 4% DLD and some admin fees. Then first installment, May 2026, 10%. This time it's 10%. Then 5, then 10, 10, 10, 10, and 25 handover. So the final installment, the last one. So here in this case it's 75-25. So how do you make money with off-plan? Let's take this example. Let's say you are investing in this 2-bedroom flat for 3.6 million dirham. So at the end of the day, you are going to invest in total over the 4 years here, a total of, over the first 3 years here, before the handover, a total of invested 1.8 million dirham. So all this amount, right? Not taking the last one, and the fees, 144k plus 5k, which is in total of 1.9 million, 54k, 920 dirham. Let's say now the value is not 3.6 million, it's 5 million dirham. All right, your potential gain will be 5 million dirham minus 3.610, 500 minus 2%, because when you sell a property, there is 2% fees from the agency, from the real estate agency, commission from the buyer and from the seller. Sometimes it's 4% just for the buyer or 4% for the seller. Anyway, in this case, I just split it, so it's 2%. So at the end of the day, your potential gain can be 1.1 million, 39k dirham. And you invested this amount, which means the ROI, return on investment, will be 58% over 4 years. Which means if we calculate it where we take the interest compounding, it's 12.2% per year. If everything is happening properly, right? So this is what we can call a flip, because in this case, you don't pay the last installment, which is the handover, you are going to let the buyer pay it for you in your case. So again, you invested 1.9 million, let's say 2 million dirham, and you pocket 1. So you make at least 50%. In the best scenario, in this example, this is how you make money. And so as you can understand, it's way more interesting to invest in a 50-50 payment plan rather than 75-25, which means you put 75% of the total money on the table to make a similar return, right? If the conditions are exactly the same. The conditions are never the same because it depends on the developer, which layout, there's many factors. But you get my point. So in this case, with 50-50, you only put 2 million instead of, if you put 75% of 3.6 million, it will be, let's say, 2.8 million. So at the end, 2.8 million and 1 million, it will be 30-40%. So it's not the same return investment at all. And so at handover, or you want to flip it like this, you don't pay the last installment, in this case 50%, in this case 25%, as we have seen here, right? Or you decide to pay the last installment, which means in this case 25%, in this one again 50%. So or you get a mortgage or you buy it cash. Then you can rent it or live inside your unit if you want. You do whatever you want. So this is how you make potential gains on payment plan. So in our case, if it's for example 30-70, then it's good because let's say it's 1 million dirham and the value now is 1.5 million, right? So you make 50% on it, but you only invested 300k. With 300k investment, you made 500k profit. So you made 166% capital gain here in this example, which is very interesting. But again, it depends on all the conditions we are going to see here. Now, who should not do off-plan? Off-plan is not for everyone, whether it's in Dubai or Miami or any kind of cities, right? If you need liquidity, it's not for you because your liquidity is going to be locked, because a part of your capital is going to be locked into the down payment and then all the installment we have seen here. Then, if you are hoping to flip in 6 months because it takes years, or if you don't fully understand the contract, the SPA, again, sales and purchase agreement. Now, let's see as an investor, because you are looking to invest or at least you are curious about what is an off-plan real estate investment. So let's deep dive into it. Minimum viable investment setup, which is what we can call a portfolio level risk management. Here, I calculate it on your liquid net worth. Yeah, you have company shares, etc. But again, it's not liquid, right? You cannot withdraw money within 24 to 48 hours. So what should be your current situation? You need to have at least 6 to 12 months runway. So let's say you spend $10,000 per month and you want 6 months, you need to have 60k aside. You don't touch it. It's not to live. It's like a security mattress. Then opportunity cash. It depends on your net worth. I will say between 5 to 20%. Always have cash the right opportunities. Then investment portfolio. You are probably already investing in stocks, cryptos, or other assets. So I would say put maximum 30% of your investment portfolio in the down payment. So 30% will be the first installment, 20% plus the 4% plus the admin fees need to be maximum 30%. Plus having cash flow, because again, your goal is to cover the installment with your cash flow or thanks to the returns of your current investment portfolio. So if we take a real example, let's come back into our 2-bedroom apartment. Let's say it's a 2-bedroom unit with good layout, so great furnishing, corner view, and everything that is easier to sell because you are making a good investment, not just an investment. You have $1 million liquid net worth. You are spending around 10k per month in dollar. I'm just taking probably someone from my audience or some of you guys. So if we take this strategy, runaway, let's say you are spending 10k again, so 60k aside. Then you want at least, if you have $1 million net worth, 10%. So you want at least $100k as dry powder. If anything happens on the market, you can reinvest. If you need some money, you have it, right? Then investment portfolio will be at the end 840k. So if you want to put 30% maximum of your investment portfolio, it will be 252k. Reminder, you are making 35k per month profit, which means 35k minus your 10k expenses, you have 25k available to invest. To invest, why? Because I consider you already have runaway money and opportunity cash. If you want to put a bit of money here and here, then you can. But let's say 25k available to invest. Now let's get back to our unit. 3.6 million dirham for a good 2-bedroom unit, as we mentioned just before, which represents 20% plus 4% DLD plus admin. So the calculation will be 871k dirham, which is in dollar 238k. Perfect, it's fitting properly into our 30% max investment portfolio allocation. So we are able to make our first down payment. Then first installment. Here in this case it's 5%. But if you take another kind of plan, here it's not 5%, it's 10%. Then 5, then 10, then 10. So you need to be even more solid on your cash flow or your investment returns. So in this case it will be 5%. So 5% calculated is 49k after 4 months. And at the end of the day, it's every 4 months. Let's say $50k every 4 months. So per month, you have to put put half of what you have available to invest on a saving account in order to be able to, every 4 months, to put 50k on the second, third, until the 6th installment. I think it's clear for now. So this is how you can calculate and see if you are able to invest in an off-plan payment. I'm seeing guys, they literally have 400k in their bank account, like they are not investing, they are doing nothing. They probably have mainly in USDC, stablecoin, and that's it. And they are doing like their businesses. They are doing 30, sometimes 50k, sometimes 20k, sometimes 70k. This is going up and down, and they say, yeah, I'm going to invest in off-plan payment. I'm going to put $150k boom on the table because I want like at least something valued at $500,000. So they just literally put themselves in danger because their business is going YOLO. Then they don't have any other money to invest in their investment portfolio. It's too heavy in their investment portfolio. They don't have runway. I mean, it's, in my opinion, stupid. Again, we are looking for long-term wealth, not just making quick flips and risking everything because we think we can come back with a new business idea and we are going to always make money. The goal first is to protect yourself and then to multiply, not to try to multiply without protecting yourself. I mean, it's up to you, but the thing is really to compound over time while protecting your capital. Now, let's get into the real part. How to not get scammed. Again, saying scam is not losing everything, is doing a bad investment. Whether you are in a bad situation about money, so you don't have enough money to pay, so you are going to lose your off-plan, for example, or you have bad contracts, etc. The first truth nobody says is off-plan is often more expensive than ready units. Ready units are the units available on the market currently. Today, many launches are priced 5 to 20% above the secondary market. So you pay a premium literally to wait 2 to 5 years, as we have seen. Normally, you should pay less because you lock capital, you take construction risk, because again, something can happen, and you take market risk because you don't know what is going to happen within the next 2 to 5 years. So in Dubai, you pay more because it's easy installment. As you may know, getting a mortgage, so which is a loan to buy real estate, can be hard because in UAE they are very conservative. It's not bad. I actually find it interesting and strong for the country. But anyway, as an entrepreneur, it can be hard to make a mortgage. So for you, it's easier to pay installments because again, they are not lending you money. You just invest money into a unit that is under construction. So the developer is not, let's say, taking so many risks from a capital's perspective, because if you are not paying your off-plan, they are just going to resell your off-plan to someone else. They are going to find, right? Because if they put it at an interesting price, which sometimes I have through off-market deals, then it can be very interesting. Anyway, that's the first thing you have to understand. And as you know, how do you make a good deal? You make it when you buy it, not when you sell it. So if you are already buying it at 5 to 20%, as everyone, you should get the right contact, agents, and off-market deals in order to get the best deals. Because again, it's an investment. You want to get a discount because there is something like someone didn't pay his unit or whatever. The real product here being sold is not the apartment, it's the payment plan. Developers are not selling a unit. They are selling 10% today, 1% per month, and at the end, zero stress. It feels affordable, but in reality, the price is inflated to absorb that flexibility. Because again, you are flexible with installments, while with a mortgage, it can be harder for you to get it, and it can look not that sexy because it will be on the secondary market, which means the market already priced in. While on the off-plan, it depends on the project, but you think, or sometimes it's true, right? There is still the market that is not priced in because you are buying developer price, not secondary market price. The #1 conflict of interest in Dubai are the agent commissions, because if they are going to sell you secondary market, let's say a villa or a broker, they are going to make 2% because again, they are going to take 2% on the seller and 2% of the buyer. But in general, it's not the same real estate agent that listed the unit and that is going to sell it, right? It's just 2 agents or 2 companies. Anyway, while an off-plan payment through a broker, it can earn between 3 to 5%, sometimes 6 and plus. So imagine you get 3 to 5% or 2%. Of course, you are going to be willing to sell something at 3% or even 5%, because if someone is going to ask you, I want to invest in an off-plan with 2 million dirham, which one do you advise me? The one that is giving you 5% or the one that is giving you 3%? And sometimes if they give you 3%, it's because the developers, they don't really need that much marketing, right? Because maybe they are already in place, or they already have strong partners and strong buyers that are willing to pay whatever the price. So that can be a reason why sometimes it's 3 and sometimes it's 5%. I mean, there is so many factors, but I'm just giving you an idea. Now, let's go into the most dangerous trap in off-plan payment. Again, it's not only about Dubai at this point. It's about, in general, liquidity. People think I will resell it just before handover and make 20%, because this is what we can expect, right? You pay the first 6 installments plus the booking amount like down payment. And the last one on completion, the 50% or in this case 25%, no, it's not me. I just want to flip it, so there will be for sure a buyer. But in the end, the reality is you often cannot resell your unit until you pay 40 to 60%. It's in the SPA. You have to pay as well admin transfer fees, then the secondary market undercuts pricing, and then buyers don't want to take over your payment plan because it can feel risky for them and they can still not have the final product, right? They are buying the current off plan, which is still under construction. The critical point, the SPA, sales and purchase agreement, is the real deal, not the showroom. The risk here isn't the project, it's inside the contract. Toxic clauses can include resale forbidden before 40, 50, 60% paid of your off-plan. Massive penalties if you miss payments, transfer fees, developer controls the exit. Again, it doesn't mean you should not buy off-plan if there is those kind of clauses. I mean, a lot of developers are using them and it's normal. They are here to protect themselves. But you really have to understand every part of these contracts, which are called an SPA, in order to be flexible and to know what you are doing with your current investment. Because again, if you are buying a property, you think it's going to go up from 3.6 million to 5 million dirham. It's alright, maybe it's going to do it, but are you able to sell it whenever you want? Are you in the right investor position? Do you have 6 months runway at least? Do you have opportunity cash? Do you have investment portfolio that is diversified with uncorrelated assets? Do you have stable cash flow? It's a formula in order to win this game and in order to generate real money. It's not just like a small bet, right? In general, it's a sizable bet in your own capital. If you want help structuring a serious off-plan purchase, we run Insiders Properties, which is part of Insiders ecosystem. We don't push launches, we screen deals, contracts, and entry prices in order for our clients and members to get the best investment opportunities on the market, in general and most often through off-market deals. So if it's not a deal, we tell you no. If you are interested to invest, there is a link below and you can contact directly our team. And even if you're already working with several agents, we are happy to help you, just giving you an external feedback if the investment opportunity is interesting or not, if the contracts are clean, and if the developer is reliable. It's very, very important for you to be in the right mindset and to be aware of every risk related to your investment. Now let's see, when does an off-plan actually make sense? An off-plan is only good if you buy an anomaly. You are not going to buy the same studio as everyone is buying, right? Because there is a lot of people, they are just looking to invest in Dubai off-plan real estate just because, yeah, I invest in real estate. Yeah, I have a flat in Dubai. Oh, nice. But at the end of the day, we are not looking just to buy something just to feel good. We are looking to buy into a strong investment thesis, which means price need to be equal or below market ready. Top tier developers, that's a no-brainer. Prime location with real demand, not like, yeah, in 5 to 10 years it's going to be crazy, no worries. So that's why it's cheap right now, right? So you are just betting on the market. You are not looking to bet. You are looking first, when you do an investment, to protect your capital, then to multiply it. Not just to multiply it and not really protecting it. That's not the right mindset if you are looking to achieve real wealth. Looking rich can be fun, but being wealthy, it is the real game. Rare unit type, not 900 identical studios. It can be sun in the morning and during all the day. It can be pool view, it can be Dubai, it can be Burj view. It can be sea view, it can be a corner with a 2-bedroom angle. It can be so many things. So make sure you have a rare unit type because they are easier to flip. Again, here in this case, you are looking to get a higher value on the market in order to generate returns, but as well to be easy to sell, to be a liquid asset, or at least more liquid than the 900 identical studios. Reasonable exit clauses. So again, there is always an SPA, there is always clauses, right? There is always clauses to defend the developers. It's normal. But you are looking for reasonable ones, not the ones that are going to rip you. Clear strategy, hold or realistic flip, and if so, do you already know how to sell it? Do you already know what the margins? What do you expect on the market? You have to analyze not only the building, not only the developer, but the environment, the current market conditions in Dubai, the current district, what are going to be the next restaurant and hotels nearby, the next supermarket. Everything is important. It's going to make your thesis solid or not. Again, you are looking to invest in solid thesis. What is a thesis? It means everything is aligned according to your criteria, according to your checklist that I'm going to share with you overview here. Now let's see how to actually make money with off-plan for real. As you can understand, there is 3 ways to make money with off-plan. The first one will be buying below market from day one, because again, when you make a good deal, it's at the purchase, not at the resale time. So you want to buy off-market opportunities before they are listing publicly. It requires early access. We do that, plus negotiation leverage. We help our clients as well through this type of opportunities. Arbitrage on rare units. Again, corner, the view, Burj Khalifa view, forest view, etc. Limited layouts, 3 to 4 bedrooms, duplex and penthouses. Because the thing is, like, there is so many people that are looking for 1 or 2 bedroom, right? Because they are solo, or they have like a family with 1 child, or they are a couple. So they mainly need 1 to 2. But for the big families or for the one that are wealthy, they are looking to invest money. In Dubai, there is not that many well-furnished 3, 4 bedroom, duplex and penthouse. And the thing is, like, there is so many rich and wealthy UK, German, French people and many millionaires from many countries, especially from Europe, that are coming to live in Dubai, or at least to invest their money in Dubai because they don't feel safe in Europe anymore. Do you think they are going to look for 1 or 2 bedroom? No, they are going to look for premium and high end. If you check when there is crisis or when there is a boom, it's always a luxury goods that are going to have higher returns and being more liquid. It depends again about the liquidity, because if it's a $100 million penthouse, there is not so many buyers, but it can still be an interesting investment. You're not looking for standard studio because there is so many. And the third one will be long-term hold in a structural growth area. You don't care about flipping, you want the asset in 5 to 10 years. So you want, as you've seen here, you want to pay the first part here, and then at the handover, or you do a mortgage or you do a cash payment, and then you rent it. You can do a mortgage, and then thanks to the rent, it's going to pay the mortgage plus the interest, around 4.5% at the moment. Final off-plan checklist. You have first to compare the launch price to ready market comps today, not to future projections. You only want to buy if there is real margin at entry. You are making a good deal. If you are paying above secondary market, you are funding marketing, not investing. And again, there is always exceptions, which means if the building are from 2010 and now it's like a high-end luxury building, even if it's above the market price, right? Even if the off-plan deal is above the secondary market, it's just because the secondary market right now it's not in the best condition. So always make sure you understand the market and you are just not following one simple rule. You have to adapt yourself. Again, it's an investment, so you have to build your thesis. Then you want to verify the developer track record, delivery history, build quality, delays, reputation. You can even get an Airbnb in a similar building that you want to rent, live for 1 or 2 days, and you will understand if you like it or not, and if there is a value you are looking to invest in. Then you have to read the SPA line by line, focus on resale restrictions, default penalties, transfer fees, and exit conditions. We have as well in Insider's practice lawyers that are checking all the SPAs of our investors, whether it's in Dubai, Miami, and other places in the world. Stress test the payment plan. Very, very important. Assume your income drops for 6 to 12 months. Can you still pay every installment? Because the thing is, if you cannot pay, you will get penalty fees, or you will lose the off plan, and you are going to lose not directly all your money, but a part of your money. Again, it depends on which is the sale and purchasing agreement. Never use off plan as your financial backbone. Keep 6 to 12 months of runway in cash before signing anything. Very, very important. Your down payment, again, another rule, should not exceed 30% of your investable portfolio. Off plan is illiquid, which creates concentration risk. You want to avoid mass market towers with hundreds of identical units. Supply kills resale, or at least supply can kill the returns. Again, you have to adapt yourself according to the current market conditions and the future one. Have a clear strategy, realistic flip window or long-term hold. No vague, Dubai always goes up, I trust the process. It's the same thing as like so many guys are holding Bitcoin, but they don't really know what is going on, or Solana, etc. Don't be like that. Don't say, yeah, it's going to go up for sure on the long term. No, you need to have a plan. You need to have a clear strategy. If you cannot pay every installment, even in bad year, do not sign the deal. Otherwise, it's going to put pressure on your shoulders, stress, and you don't want that. You want a good investment and you want to protect your money, not to put yourself at risk for a bad decision. Buy cold, not with FOMO. The deal is made at purchase, not at resale. So make sure you are in the right deal and you are well surrounded. If you need anything, my DMs are always open on my Instagram. Happy to reply to you and to help you, whether you have specific investment questions or directly linked to the real estate in Dubai. Conclusion. In Dubai, off-plan isn't an opportunity. It's a financial product wrapped as a dream. If you don't know exactly why you are buying, you are the customer, not the investor. So make sure to be in the right side, and the most important part is to be sure you are managing your risk and your exposure. That's the minimum of the minimum.